Yo, what's poppin', everybody? Welcome back to the podcast, another episode of Caffeine GREEN with your man, Connor Cardenas. And before we get into it, I just want to make sure that you guys are heading to our motherfucking shop. That's right, baby. We are in North Park, California, or North Park, San Diego, actually. Sorry. That is 3072 El Cajon Boulevard. That is right. We have our own coffee shop now, guys. So if you head on in, we are here 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily. That's right. 3072 El Cajon Boulevard. Come through, enjoy the entire cafe. We have the podcast studio where you're hearing this podcast right now. And then I will make you any coffee that you want. So that's right. Caffeine and Green, baby. Cruise through. And if you want, you can also buy the coffee at www.caffeineandgreenroasting.com today. All right. My guest today is none other than my homegirl, Savanah Marshal. That's right. That's actually her name. I don't really call her by that, and she would probably get bummed if she heard that right now. But you can call Little Mars, Baby Mars, Lil Sav, whatever you want to call her. Savanah Marshal is who you come in and you see almost, I would say, 5 days out of the week when you come into Caffeine and Green. And she is an integral part of the cafe and just how everything has worked here. So, guys, I thought it was super important that she be the first guest in the podcast studio to kick everything off. So she is one of my favorite people. You guys see her on the regular. So without further ado, Savanah Marshal. This still trying to shine, homie. Let's go. Give me caffeine and green. It's your boy Connor. What's good? Good. Caffeine and green. And we are live. Sav Marshal, Lil Mars, Baby Mars, Black Sabbath.
How's it going, everyone?
And then we're gonna. You actually, you popped yours before, and I'm a little.
I know. I'm sorry. I really apologize. But
well,
cheers.
Yeah, cheers. Fuck yeah. These are some amazing beers from our good friends over at Seek. Damn, we need to get cup holders right here. I didn't even realize this.
But we do love Seek beer. We love Dave from Seek.
Yep. Shout out to Dave.
Best beers in San Diego.
Dude. Yep. Number 1 ranked brewery in San Diego right now. This is not a plug. This is just because that's facts and he's the homie. Dude, can we talk about the plant here too for a second? Look at, you've seen homie. Yeah. We need to name him. Because that's a boy for sure.
You think he's a boy?
He's a boy for sure.
I feel like all plants are girls.
No. I disagree. Some of the plants in here for sure are girls. They're my girls for sure. I think the one with the big ass pathos one over there with the thing on it.
Oh, for sure.
That's a girl.
For sure, a girl.
She was hyped.
She's stoked. I guess I'll allow it to be a he. He's pretty stoked.
Dude, he moves a lot. If you guys haven't been to the podcast studio in the Caffeine and Green shop, we're talking about the plant in the podcast studio. He literally he shows off all day. He opens up and then at night he closes up. I wish I could just take a photo of it and show it to you right now, but it's really quite amazing, to be honest. That's how I know plants are real. They're not that they're not real, but they're alive.
But he definitely his environment definitely affects him. He's stoked. You got to come into Caffeine and Green and check him out.
It's a vibe for sure.
He's real cute.
He knows. Well, this is the first podcast in the new studio.
I am so honored. I get to be first.
Yep, that's right. Numero uno, Sav Marshal in the house. What the hell? Fuck. Either way. Yes. So, Sav, we were talking about this the other day, and we were talking about doing the podcast. And I thought we were hanging out for most of the day, worked, and then we got some drinks, and I was like, dude, I think you should be the first person on the podcast. We need to get the podcast going again. It's been 2.5 months. It was just shy of 3 months.
Wow.
No podcast. March 25th was the last day we had a podcast.
Wow.
Yeah. So just shy of 3 months, but still 2. And I thought it only right that you be the first person before Dave from Seek or Paola or
all these awesome people that we have lined up for the next coming weeks.
Yep. But I felt it was only right to have you come on because of the fact that you have quite the story about your journey in coffee, your journey with Caffeine and Green from pretty much from its inception to when you came here, and it was either messy or not messy? Was it? I wasn't even like. What was like when you walked in? What was it like? Well, I guess before we get ahead,
Let's backtrack a little.
yeah, we'll backtrack a little bit. So, you and I met at Steel Mill.
Yes,
in
you
Vista.
actually hired me. Well, it was in Oceanside.
Oh, that's right. It was Oceanside. Yes.
They have now moved to Vista. Shout out Steel Mill Coffee. We love you.
All the homies.
But a friend had sent me, they like posted something on Instagram and they were like, hey, we're looking for a new barista. And I was like, fuck it. I just quit a job. I love coffee. I was already working coffee. I had been to Steel Mill a couple of times, really liked their like whole thing. And I just kind of applied on a whim. And then one morning I like wake up at noon.
I wake up at noon.
Yeah. And then I like see I have a bunch of missed calls, and then I finally decide to listen to my voicemail, which I never do. And it's like, hey, this is Cajon from Steel Mill. Like, I haven't heard back from you. Like, if you still want this position or like want an interview, like call me back. And I like frantically called you. We met up that day, had our first interview, and that's when we met.
Yeah, I mean I remember that day specifically because we had interviewed some people. I remember the first girl I interviewed, she was like, yeah, I really like Steel Mill. I think it's great. I don't really like coffee, but I really like skateboarders. And I was just sitting there like, this bitch, like, fucking wasting my time. Like, what the fuck? Like, oh my God. And then,
It's like, girl, we get it. We all like skateboarders.
Yeah, obviously.
It's fine.
Yeah, we like skateboarders. It's cool, but you definitely want to be here because it's more of like a cool kid kind of thing.
Totally.
You know, like, not because you actually give a shit about coffee. And that
Totally.
was important to me, especially being the roaster.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
Like, come the fuck on.
Like, come on. Your whole thing is like coffee. Come on.
Dude, whole thing. And I mean, regardless, Steel Mill has a vibe and it has a look for sure, but at the core of it is coffee.
Yeah.
I mean, Shay and I started at Zoom Bar, so it was, I know he's all about the coffee.
Yeah.
He wants the coffee to taste amazing. So if you're talking about like, oh, I just like skateboarding, but I don't really
Like, care about the coffee,
it's
like-
like, nah. Yeah, no. So we went through a couple more, and you were the only interview that I had that actually asked about coffee.
Yeah.
You talked to me about the coffee. We talked about the espresso blend. We talked about like single origin in Colombia. I remember that specifically. We talked about a couple other coffees, and then you had a cold brew. Everybody else I'd interviewed up to that point hadn't even drank any coffee during the interview. And I was like,
Are you serious?
Yeah. I was like, do you want any coffee? And you're like, yeah, I'll take a cold brew. It's like, fuck yeah. Like, tight, you know? So that was pretty much, that was that. And then you know, there was
You had me hop behind bar, make a latte.
Did I?
You did,
Yo.
and then I did latte art, and you're like, oh, sick. Okay, cool, tight. And like, I did not think that I would get that job. I was like, so many people probably applied. Like, there are all these cool people who probably want to work here because it's like Steel Mill, you know? And I was just like, I just want a job. I love coffee. This guy seems like he knows what he's talking about. Like, I was so intimidated by you too. I was
Why?
like, I don't know, you're you.
What does it even mean? You're me. You hang out with me more than anybody else right now. Like, it's like fucking teddy bear. Well, maybe not teddy bear, but like I'm pretty chill. Like,
fair enough. Now I know that, but like going in, I was like, God, I don't know what to wear. Like, I don't have anything that is like professional. You know how I dress, and like going in, I was like, okay, they're gonna like ask me about coffee, and like I know coffee. Like, I've been working at different coffee shops for like the last 4 years, like, but I was like, they have to have so many applicants, you know?
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. That's
right?
fair.
Like,
That's fair.
I'd only been there like 2 or 3 times, maybe, and it was before you started roasting for them, actually.
Oh, really? So you
Yeah.
went there and they were still doing James coffee?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then I hadn't been back, and then the pandemic hit or whatever, and like, still didn't go back after I moved to Oceanside. Like, it's a little intimidating.
Understandable. Yeah, I mean, that's super understandable. Yeah, I mean, then you got hired,
Yeah.
and that was like a whole thing in itself, but you got hired, and then everybody loved you, and it was fucking dope, and you, like, dude, more than anybody, even more than myself, I think you fit in you were like a shoe-in, you know? Like, I stand out pretty tough. Shay, regardless if he would tell me actually how bummed he was the music I would play. But it's like, you know, it's the skateboarding thing. They didn't give a fuck about who I was. I've roasted good coffee, and they're my
Yeah.
homies. And that's what Steel Mill is all about.
Yeah.
And that's what makes Steel Mill so fucking rad, you know?
Yeah. Well, I feel like that's like the like culture of skateboarding. It's like it doesn't matter who you are. You're here to skate. Like you're a homie. Like whatever. And like
you smoke weed, drink beer. Yeah.
Fuck
it's like,
yeah.
All right,
like,
cool.
Yeah. And like I feel like that is like that's you to your core. That's Steel Mill to its core. It's like you guys accept whoever. It's like you're cool. You're cool. Whatever. Like that's like the whole like skateboarding thing. And I think that is like super rad.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that's like, that's why I fuck with Shay so hard. And that, and plus we're like 2 days apart in birthdays.
Yeah.
Which I think is pretty tight.
Our Pisces kings.
Dude, what's the poppin'? You know, March 4th and March 6th. Yo, shout out. And dude, he has the same birthday as my other best friend.
Really?
Danny Honda, yeah.
What?
Yo, shout out Danny Honda.
You really like Pisces, huh?
And March 1st is Hodge.
Wow, shout out Pisces.
Yo, shout out my homies, yo, all the real ones. But and they're all fucking crazy. Like, they're all like just super emotional, fucking but rad individuals who's like fucking shred at life.
I will say, from the people in that list that I do know, very passionate about the things that they like, very good at what they do, and like just like nice people.
Good, yeah. Solid
Emotional
people.
a little bit, but like.
But you need
Not
some
bad.
fucking, you need some emotion to get through life, you know what I'm saying?
I'm all about emotion.
You need
like,
that passion.
Yeah, and like compassion, being nice,
compassion and being
like come on, like you care, and
Well,
that's
obviously.
like all Pisces, y'all care. We love that.
Dude, you and your fucking sign thing. Dude, you're always with the signs. Anyways,
So
fire signs, baby.
Lil Leo. Shout out to all my Leos.
Lil Leo.
We love Leo women. We love fire signs.
Dude, shut the fuck up. Oh my god.
Okay, anywho, so
anyways,
Steel Mill, that's where we met. You
so
hired me.
Yeah, you were a shoo-in. You fit in really well with everybody. And within like days to like not even a matter of weeks, everybody was just like, yeah, hanging out. You're hanging out with Anna. You're just living that oceanside life. And it was a lot of fun. Talking a lot of shit, having a lot of fun. But then, things changed, and Steel Mill closed for a couple months, and you were not working.
Correct.
So in that time, dude, to be honest, I don't even really remember that time after they closed down, because we weren't even roasting for them or nothing. Like, I think that, dude, like, holy shit. Like, I think when they closed, I was even out of a job because I was just doing Caffeine GREEN on the side. And then I think, dude, when did they close?
January 31st was their last day.
Did they really?
Yeah. And then I dropped a friend off at the airport. I saw you maybe like mid-March. Sorry.
No, you're fine. You okay?
Yes, I'm fine. Choking on my own spit, as I always do. And I mean, from then, like, you and I just started, like, hanging out, talking shop, like...
Wait. You're skipping hard because you came, like,
Yeah, like, mid-March.
You hit me up to say, like, yo, can I come by and check out the shop?
Yeah, I just wanted to, like, check out the shop.
We
see
had
what
coffee,
you were
caught up.
doing. Yeah, classic.
Yeah, standard.
Of course. I'm like, Connor, where are the good coffee shops in San Diego? And he's like, I got you, queen.
Yeah, I got you, queen. I got a spot. We caught up on each other's significant others' dating lives.
Yeah,
what we did when we hung out at Steel Mill. I'd be like, all right, check this out. Check this Hinge profile. Like, what do you think about this chick? And you're like, I don't know, Kano. She doesn't. You could do better.
I mean, you could. I call it as I see it.
Oh,
that's it. That's all. You're a catch.
No.
You're a catch.
Okay,
that's all.
stop playing. Anyways, so we caught up. We talked it, and then like we're hanging out at Hawthorne, and I was like, all right, you want to go see the shop?
Yeah.
And then so I show you the shop. And we were talking about this before the podcast. I didn't actually remember this, but like you said that I asked you if you wanted to do the design work, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, I got this other girl that was going to do it, but I felt like maybe there's a conflict of interest.
Totally.
And then you were like, well, yeah, like I can totally do it.
Yeah.
In my head, I was like, I don't know if she really knows how to do it. And then, but I'm like, I have faith in Sav. So far, she's never let me down.
Good to know.
Up to this point.
Like, ooh, okay, yeah. Good to know.
And then all of a sudden, I would just start like texting you, like, so what do you think about like the podcast studio? And then you sent me these green velvet chairs that we're sitting in right now that are pretty wide and they're comfy. Mm-hmm. They're super nice. You came up with these like gold things over here.
Accents.
Whatever. and like, and I was super on the fence about him, but I went with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you would pretty much picked out everything. And I want that to be known for people who are listening. Like, you pretty much designed the inside of the shop, with the exception of the coffee carts and
the mural.
The mural and the serving area.
Yeah.
Those are the only three things that you didn't really have a hand in. And like the photos, like those are fine. I told you an idea of what I wanted to do.
I helped you pick the picture of Shay.
You did help me pick the picture. I'm just talking about putting the pictures out.
Okay,
like,
yeah. Okay, I didn't put them up. I didn't paint the walls either.
Damn.
Okay, I'm sorry.
What about that? No, and the neon sign too.
I put that up.
No,
with
you
Isaac.
put it up. I was in Mexico City when you did that.
Yeah.
But I picked that one out, right?
Okay, yeah, you did.
Okay,
you did,
I was
you
like,
did.
fuck, I think I picked that one out too. And then shout out to Keenan for
this beautiful
the black.
freaking.
Well,
Oh
no,
yeah.
he's like, yo, you need to paint the wall black.
And the serving, the like bar cart, all that good stuff.
Yeah, the bar cart, the actual carts with the neon signs, and then the 3-compartment sink. Oh no, that was Jim. Yo, shout out Jim Duke.
We love Jim Duke.
Yo,
we love Jim Duke.
Yeah, and I fuck him. Oh, okay.
You know, I hope he listens to that
I'm
and
gonna
hears
send
your
it to
impression.
him. I'm gonna send it to him. And be like, yo, Jim, I shouted you out on the podcast.
I love him so much.
He's so sick. Yo, if anybody in San Diego needs anything done coffee-wise, he's the OG.
Hit him up. He is the man.
Dude, he's the nicest man I've ever met in my life. And
he's the cutest, sweetest old man.
And he's tall.
Yeah, he's so tall.
He's super tall. He's super tall. And he has the best smile. Dude, when I talked to Tyler, Tyler was like, yo, I got the 3-compartment sink from Jim Duke. I was like, no way. And he's like, yeah. He's like, I got everything else from Jim Duke, too. I was like, damn, son.
We love Jim Duke.
Dude, shout out Tyler, too, because Tyler's the fucking homie. Dude, did you see Tyler came here the other day?
You were here. Yeah, I was there.
Oh, gosh, dude, I knew that.
Okay, wait. Fun little side note. I met Tyler from Tired Eyes working at a different coffee shop in Long Beach. And then Kano hired me onto Steel Mill. And then he's like roasting, whatever. And then Tyler goes up to him and is like, yo, you know Sav? And Kano's like, yeah, I hired her. And like tells me this later. And I'm just like, wow, what a small freaking world.
Dude, it was so crazy when he came up to me too, because we were at the roastery. Mm-hmm. Like, and I only roast at night. So it was like, it had to be like 6 or 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I pull up and I think I might have been leaving or like just cleaning up, and he was coming in to roast at late at night. And he was like, yo, like, you hired that girl. Like, how do you know Sav? And I was like, oh, I just hired her at Steel Mill. And he's like, dude, I worked with her at the Merchant and this, that, and this. And I was like, how the fuck did we not? Dude, he's been on the podcast like 2 or 3 times, I think. For sure, too.
Yeah.
And we never even mentioned him working in the Merchant. Or maybe we did. Sorry, Tyler, if you're hearing this, and we did. Like, but I don't remember that part of the story. And I'll tell you what, to have him, who like, I've mentioned this to you, like Tyler's younger than me, but I like look up to Tyler in the sense like he's already done what I'm doing right now in so many different ways.
Yeah.
The social media aspect, the coffee aspect, running a business, being a business owner, understanding what it is to run a small business and a small roastery coffee business. So it's Tyler has a lot to offer, and we just get along really well. So it was really cool, I think, that he had already had like some sort of working relationship with you that
could like validate.
In a sense, yeah. But it was more of like Tyler was just, I guess, validating. Was just like, dude, she's super rad. Like, she's gonna be a good addition to your team. And it's like, dude, fuck yeah. I think I ended up telling him, I was like, dude, she was the only person in any of the interviews we had that asked about coffee or knew things about coffee. And that's super important to me. Yeah. It's like, you know about origin, you know about regions, you know about like basic shit that is super essential to coffee people.
Yeah, totally. I'm like, hearing that, I have always really respected him. I like worked at the Merchant mostly during the summer, and then like would come back during like breaks and stuff because I was in school. And like working with him, even for like, I want to say it was like maybe a month and a half, 2 months that we worked together. He was so tight, so nice. Never like cool guyed you, like just like an all around like rad person with like a lot of good insight. And like, I remember meeting him and just going like, this guy's sick. Like, I like him.
Dude, he's very stoic.
A little bit.
And ominous at the same time. Like, you never know what he's thinking. But he's
Yeah.
also disappearing. Like, Tyler doesn't tell you shit. All of a sudden, like, you just see Tyler. He's in Arizona riding a bike. And he's like, it's like, yo, G, are you
good?
Are you going to be at the shop tomorrow? He's like, yeah, I'll be there. It's like, wait, so did you record this yesterday? He's like, no, I'm in Arizona right now. It's like, what the fuck? Who are you? Said, like, you know? Dude, when that's why when he showed up, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah,
like,
that was crazy.
Dude, Tyler fucking Herrera is in the house saying, like,
straight up, like, okay, so Kano was like in the shop working on his computer. I'm behind bar, and I look out the window and I see him come out of his car, and I'm like, yo, is that Tyler from Tired Eyes? And Kano goes, wait, what? And it was like the craziest. Great day, great surprise, wonderful.
It was very wonderful. It was awesome as fuck. Dude, just the other day, I told you I had a call with him. Like, dude, Tyler was like, hey, I was like, hey, can we hop on a call real quick? And he's like, yeah, because I wanted some advice. Mm-hmm. And dude, I'll be the first to admit, like, I have no shame in saying that I asked Tyler for advice.
Yeah.
And again,
that's what I respect about you. You really, like, make a point to learn more from anyone else who has, like, any sort of insight. You're like, fuck yeah, like, I'll ask you questions, which I feel like a lot of people don't do.
Because people don't want to look stupid.
Yeah, which I think is, like, silly. Like, no one knows everything. Like, questions are awesome. Like,
dude, you have to you have to ask questions.
Yeah.
It's the only way you're going to get better.
Yeah.
You have to embrace the suck. I've said that on the podcast before, but, like, dude, yeah, it sucks.
Embrace the suck?
Yeah.
I love that.
You have to embrace the suck. It's embarrassing, right? Like, when you don't know, like, so my whole thing right now, if anybody who's been following my stories or following the podcast or the Caffeine Green stories in my personal, I'm, like, trying super hard right now to learn Spanish. Like, my main goal is to be fluent in Spanish. And I'll go down to Mexico 1 to 3 times a week since the beginning of the year. And compared to what it was in, like, January, I can actually, like, kind of
make sentences,
like, do
respond
things,
well,
respond and be okay. But to the point where, like, even Ray will be like, oh, you got it. Like, okay, like, go ahead. Like, I was like, oh, hell yes, man. Like, yo, what's popping? Yo, let's go. But I mean, the hardest thing to do, my point with that was that people are afraid to look stupid and not understand. But you saw when, like, Freddie was in here, he came back this morning, the dude who only speaks Spanish.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hell
he
yeah.
He was here yesterday and he came again in today. And we were talking, and, like, the first time I met him, I was like, I said, estoy idiota, like, lo siento. I was like, so I was like, yo, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Because he only spoke Spanish.
He only speaks Spanish,
like,
and
only.
I couldn't figure out the word for cinnamon.
Yeah.
And then when
what
I
is
found
the
out,
word for
it's
cinnamon?
canela.
Okay,
and
you
I
remember
fucking
now.
knew that, but I knew that beforehand. And then when I was, like, describing, I was like, the Mexican mocha is chocolate, and then I was like, Ruben, I was like, Ruben, ¿cómo se dice cinnamon en español? And he's like, and then, like, Jeremy and Ruben were both sitting there,
we're
and then Jeremy's like, canela. I was like, fuck.
They love Jeremy.
I was like, thanks, Jared. You know, and I said it. I was like, I told him, I was like, estoy idiota, lo siento, like, ese chocolate, canela. And he's like, he stopped me and he's like, you're not an idiot. He's like, you're trying and you're really making an effort. So he's like, I appreciate that. And I was like, dude, but all in Spanish, of course. And it was like, dude, fuck yeah. And so he came in again today and we were talking and it was just like,
dope.
Fuck yeah. And so that's what I want. You know, I want to do that with Ray as well. Like, and then, you know, going to Tecate, shout out Kilo Libra Cafe, Luis, my G over there. But going over to Mexico and Tecate and TJ and, you know, Puerto Nuevo, Valle, Mexico, the Ciudad de Mexico, like, it's improving things.
Yeah,
but
totally.
It's the point with all that is that it's like, dude,
you just gotta
you have to just do it.
Yeah.
You have to look stupid because eventually you will get better. It's like with every skateboarder, it's like eventually you're going to get the ollie. Yeah. You might not be a pretty ollie, but you're going to get it if you keep trying. You're going to get it,
and then eventually it'll be like nothing. Like,
exactly.
You got that.
Exactly. With anything you're doing.
Yeah.
Latte art, roasting
all of
coffee.
It, everything.
Yeah.
I want to get back to this idea of, like, practice does make perfect. But so you went to Tyler for advice. You called him the other day before he showed up.
Yes. So sorry. Tangents. We were talking about tangents. I called him and I was asking him, like, hey, how do I do this? How do I do this? And he was just he put things in perspective and he said, you know, like, focus on these things what's your main money maker? What is driving the most business for you right now? And focus on those two. And you said, leave everything else to Sav.
You know, I appreciate that. You guys have so much faith in me.
Dude, I have so much faith in you. But that's also why we were talking about having you come on the show.
Yes, yeah.
You know, and that was, I think, the most important thing. Like, we were talking about it earlier in the podcast. It was just, I think, when we were hanging out, we went to Fernside.
Yeah,
we went to
yes.
Fernside. Shout out Fernside, Christian, Jessa, everybody, Bryn. But we were over there, and I finally had told you, because I'd been thinking about it. I was like, hey, like, I need to get the podcast back going. And I was only not doing it because I didn't want to, I wanted to film and do all these other things. But
it's just not feasible.
It's just not
now.
right now. It's like, I'll be the first one to say, like, I don't have the money to do that right now.
Yeah.
I can't pay a team of an editor or a filmer. It's just not going to work. So the point of there's like everything for Caffeine and Green grew out of the podcast. I wanted to get back to that because I felt like
it's important. It's like a huge part of Caffeine and Green.
It is Caffeine and Green.
Yeah.
There is no Caffeine and Green coffee shop without Caffeine and Green podcast.
Yeah.
And so to not do one without the other is you're unbalanced.
Yeah, yeah.
You're unbalanced. And I felt like who better to bring on the show to kind of like really encompass all this. So to get back to what we were originally talking about. So you came in.
Design,
yeah,
you
came in. And then I had asked you to say like, hey, I was going to have this girl work. I feel like it's conflict of interest. Do you want to bring it on? You said yes. And then you started taking over kind of everything, like with the green chairs, the gold accents,
the furniture,
the tables, the benches, pretty much everything. And you handled it. Even when I was in Mexico City, I trusted you enough. I gave you the keys. Mm-hmm. Ironically, the one day that both of you weren't here is the day that the window got broken.
Really?
Dude, yeah.
Damn.
That was a Sunday.
Like I remember you asked me to do it and I was like, yeah, sure. Like I'll help you out with it. Not knowing that I was like really committing to something. I thought you were just going to be like, oh yeah, like I have a general idea. I'm just going to send you some things like every so often. But like it became way more hands-on than I expected it. And I was like, wow, okay. Like I'm doing this. We're doing this. Okay. And like, I didn't want to let you down. Like that was like, oh God, like Connor is asking me to do these things. Like I have to do it. Like, and then like you left to Mexico City and you're like, here are the keys. Like
I should have gave you the keys.
Yeah, like the keys. And I was like, oh fuck. Like, and like you had like Isaac, your constructor guy come in and like do all this stuff. And like, I spent like 2 12-hour days here with him, just like overseeing stuff. We were shooting the shit. He was like doing all of this crazy construction stuff. And I was just like, I cannot believe that Kano is trusting me to do this. Like, should I be doing this? And like, that was just, and like seeing where the shop is now, it is like crazy. From where it was when I first stopped in, like the windows all boarded up. There was no furniture in here. There was just like a bunch of like random tools and like paper and like just like dust.
Dude, a lot of dust. It was so much dust. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah.
But
dude, yeah.
Yeah, I think you and I make a good team. Like
I think
seeing
so too.
how like your ideas, like you have so many really cool ideas and like I'm here to just like try and make that happen.
I feel like you pick out like the good ones.
You have a lot of, I mean, your brain does go like 5,000 miles a minute, you know? And like, you're like, oh, this. Oh, did I tell you this? Oh, did I tell you this? And then it's like, we're like 5 conversations away from the original one. And I'm like, wait, what chairs did you want? Did you like what I showed you? Like, are these cool? Like, do we like this? Or like, should I look for something else?
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. Yes, I like the green ones.
Yes,
but
yeah.
Okay, let's go back to the.
You're like, but okay, wait, back to the other conversations.
Yeah. Dude, no, that's pretty accurate as fuck for sure.
Yeah.
I think that's also why I do think it was so funny. I think I told you this already, but like my mom was so funny. Me and my mom were like, I think we were out to lunch or something, you know. And there's very few people like I calm down with, you know, in a sense. And my mom obviously being like the major one. And we were sitting there and we were talking, and then somehow you came up and she was like, did you offer her a job yet? I was like, she lives in Oceanside. That was my response. She lives in Oceanside. And she's like, that's not what I asked you. She's like, did you offer her a job yet? And I was like,
I love your mom.
I was like,
she is fiery as funk.
Dude, my mom is crazy.
She's like, that's not what I asked you.
Yeah.
I asked you if you offered her a job.
That's exactly what she said. Verbatim. That's exactly what she said. She's like, that's not what I asked you. I asked you if you gave her a job yet. Or like, offered her a job. And I was like, Mom, like, I don't know. Like, yada, yada, yada. And she's like, you're going to be stupid if you let that girl go. You need to have her because look what she did for the cafe. And I was like, no, you're right. Like, all right, cool. Shortly after that, I offered you a job. Mm-hmm. Knowing that it was like, fuck, this is going to be this is a shoot. This is like a crapshoot, right? Like we're in all of San Diego, if we were going to pick a specialty coffee market, we picked, I would say, the most flooded one.
Yeah.
100% North Park, San Diego. Like
straight up.
Dude, El Cajon Boulevard, Coffee and Tea Collective is on the other side of the street. Down the block, of course. Like we actually have a good side, like a good amount of distance between us.
Straight up, like coming here, you were like, yeah, there's like 4 or 5 coffee shops within like 2 miles of here, and I was like,
easy.
Whoo, okay.
Maybe more.
Yeah,
like,
no, for sure more.
Yeah.
Maybe like a mile radius. There's like 3 or 4 or 5.
Yeah, 100%.
Like,
it's like, damn. But in my head, I was thinking,
quality, baby.
It's quality, and we're in our own fucking lane. Ain't nobody doing what we're doing. And I'm not saying that to be boastful or be cocky. I'm saying that for the standpoint that I literally, with the exception of Blvd is the only one who's doing anything remotely like gangsta. Like,
yeah.
But it's Chicano gangster, which is chill because I still have my Mexicano culture in here.
But you have your MMA, you have your skating
skateboarding,
background,
the
like,
podcast,
yeah,
like,
and like also like
the hip hop aspect.
Yeah, the hip hop, like that is like Kano to like a baby, like that is you. Like I remember going into Steel Mill in the mornings when we would work together, and like you would just be like bumping hip hop, and I'm just like, okay, cool, whatever.
But see, I don't think it was that much a big deal. Like, yo, if Shay ever hears this, like, I don't know if he'll listen to this, but like Shay would always kind of give me shit, and like, hey. It's his shop.
Yeah,
he is the owner. Mad respect, always mad love for Shay all day, forever. But I would go in sometimes, and Anna was working. She'd be playing some like fucking Wu-Tang. Like, yo, what the fuck? Like, y'all play some Wu-Tang when I'm not here. What the fuck is this? I'm catching shit in the morning, but at the same time, I was playing like some R&B or something.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, true. Okay, wait. On that note, so you working at Steel Mill playing music that doesn't really fit the vibe. Why do I get shit for playing music that doesn't really fit the vibe here?
Okay,
I've made a C&G playlist on my Spotify to not ruin my Spotify like Wrapped at the end of the year, because I'm not a huge hip hop fan, but like, you know, hip hop adjacent music.
Hey, but I've been playing
playlist.
you mad good hip hop music. Come
You
on,
have,
no.
you have.
Like,
I'm not
opening the
opposed to-
eyes.
Yes, no, yeah. I'm open to all music.
Okay.
I do like a lot of the hip hop you've showed me. Like, if you guys want to check out my C&G playlist, hit me up. But I was playing something, and Connor goes, "What the funk is this, Sav?" And I was like, excuse me, this is hip hop adjacent. It's like kind of R&B. And he was like, change it. So
that was for the record though, that was the only track that you've played. That was that. You even played that King Gizzard album that you were like, this is kind of hip hoppy, and I was like, yo, I actually really like this album. It was really cool.
Okay, fair. But you know, I've really worked hard to like adjust my music.
No,
to
but
fit
see,
the
I don't
shop.
think. Okay, wait. To be fair, I would honestly say I don't really think it matters that much. I just think with a big ass mural of Nipsey on the wall,
fair enough.
It's a little weird if like you were to walk in and you heard like Fleetwood Mac.
Okay, fair. But
that's all I'm saying. But at the same time, like the other day when we were playing the Talking Heads,
yeah,
like, yo, love that
dance
shit.
party,
dude. But the thing about it is like, even though there's a lot of hip hop in here, the main thing is supposed to be music and inspiration and motivation. Yes. Whatever you're finding
that motivates your hustle,
that I funk with.
Yeah,
that's
you do, baby. Yeah. We funk with it.
But that's, I mean, to be fair, that's. I've only said that to you once, and that was like, what the fuck is this song?
Okay, fair. That was like 3 days ago.
It wasn't a hip hop adjacent song either.
It was. I want to say it was like, I don't know, like Willow Smith.
Oh, it was Willow. And I was like, what is this trash? Like, yo.
Not trash.
Dude,
wow.
I like Willow. I like
Mean.
Willow Smith because, that's right. I remember this conversation. Like, yo, we're going to play a fucking Smith in here. It's going to be Will Smith getting jiggy with it, Miami. And I think I don't know was it Jeremy?
It was Jeremy. And he's
like just the two of us. Like, or something like
you guys were going in, and I was like, okay, fine, whatever. We still like Willow Smith. I'm still gonna play her. Like, fuck y'all, funk y'all.
Do you think when they were picking her name that they were like, oh, it's like
for
kind of
sure.
like Will, but like we're gonna be like
Willow
Willow
Smith, Will, and then Jaden. You didn't know that?
Is that a thing?
I'm 99.9% sure that's a thing.
Where's your phone? Look it up right now.
You want me to look it up
I
while
want
we're
you
on?
to look it. Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Look it up. No, because like this is what a third person would do while we're looking it up. Be like, wait, does it like if you're like listening to another podcast, they have like another person who's in the background, kind of just like, oh, double checking that.
Oh, okay, yeah. Have you ever watched Hot Ones?
The chicken wings.
Yeah.
Yeah. The like Baby Shack, or
Yeah.
not Baby Shack, but they like made when they were doing the baby faces, like they put the baby face on Shaq when he ate it. dude, when Shaq he like ate this wing, he goes. Dude, it was fucking hella funny.
Okay,
wait, what is it? What is it?
Celebrity9.com.au says she was alluding to the fact Willow is a clear play on the name Will, and Jaden is a nod to his mother's name, Jada. Most commenters were shocked the women only just made this discovery, while others basked in her revelation. So
Basked? Like, dude, we just figured it out right now on the podcast.
okay,
Like, Jesus
you
Christ.
just figured it out.
Oh, you knew this already?
Yeah.
Oh, you
B-word,
knew.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, B-word. Funk, yeah, and B-word. What is with that? Why do you not swear?
I swear for the most part, but like, I don't know. It's nicer. I don't know. And like, if I'm in this coffee shop or any coffee shop for the most part, and there's like people around, like, I don't want to just be yelling like all of these like very crass words. Also, like funk is
Who
like.
are you? You fucking what? like,
I think saying funk yeah is way cuter than saying fuck yeah.
I mean, maybe for you.
Okay, well, you know it works for me. So
I mean, yeah, I'm not saying that's why I said maybe for you. But like, I think it's very much like a Geraldine. Like, if you've ever met Geraldine, for anybody who's never met her, from Holy Matcha,
our queen, we love
yo,
her.
shout her out.
Big
shout out Holy Matcha,
Matcha.
son. Holy Matcha all day. Yo, and her husband's a fucking G all day. But the same thing is like when we talk, I fuck with her so hard because of the fact that when she talks to you, she don't give a fuck. She'll be like, nah, this is shit. Or like, nah, fuck that. Like, that's how she says it. And I'm just like, she said that to me the first time, I was like taken back. I was like, oh.
You're like, oh
my God.
Okay.
Like, oh my God. Like, yes, that's how you talk. Like, because
like,
that's how
damn,
I
girl.
talk. Yeah. And nobody, like, people are mad scared to like really say what they want to say, but she don't give a fuck.
You know, I also respect that about you, because when we first started working together, you would say things like very just like direct and open, and I was like, oh, like, did I do something wrong? But like, it was never like, you don't say it as a way to be like derogatory or like mean or anything. It's like, yo, like, no, that's not how you do it. Like, you're gonna learn, you're gonna be better at it. And it's like, I appreciate that. You're right, a lot of people don't do that. They'll kind of like tippy toe around it and like, oh, like, and it's like, I want to be better. You want me to be better. Like, why not just tell me to my face?
Tell you to your face, tell you direct. That it
it's
skips like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
Like, that's like 2 or 3 days of like, maybe you didn't do it right again the second day, but it's like, hey, you could be better.
Like,
it's
maybe
like, no.
like try it this way.
Yeah. And then have you miss it again for a third day? And then it's like on the fourth day, I'm like, all right, you know
You're
what?
like, okay,
fuck.
B-word,
Like,
like.
yeah. Yeah, okay, B-word. Can you do it right? It's like, no. How about from the first time you do it? Like, no, that wasn't correct.
Yeah.
Let's try it again.
Mm-hmm.
You did okay, but this is how you be great. Like, what's the difference between good and great?
Yeah.
You're good at your job. I want you to be fucking great at your job.
And it's like, that applies to like all parts of your life and like how you treat all of your homies. Cause it's like, you care and you're like, yo, like, Sav, like, I am constantly asking you questions. And 99% of the time you're like, oh yeah, like blah, 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 blah. Like, I'll answer it super nice. And then sometimes it's like, Sav, really? You know this. Like, come on, girl.
100%. Like verbatim, almost like exactly how I say it.
Verbatim.
Like, I'm not even gonna, no, the other one I say to you is like, I'm not even gonna answer that question.
Yeah.
And then I'll just turn around and walk away from you. It's like,
and it's like, Funk, okay, like, I guess I did know that, but
Yeah, it's like because you want this like reassurance.
yes.
I'm not going to give you reassurance to something that you already know the answer to. You know, and I know that you know. So
Yeah.
why the fuck are you asking me the question? To answer to a question that I know you already know the answer to. Because you want reassurance. I don't need to give you that. You already know the answer. You're already killing it. Because that's the thing. It's like the reason I'm saying it like that is because of the fact that I know you already know. And we talked about this the other day, like literally a couple of days ago. I wouldn't feel comfortable going to Mexico as much as I do and leaving the shop to you for essentially the entire day if I didn't trust how you were going to run it. This is my baby. But at the same time, when I think also, I think another part of that, though, to be fair, is the fact that you did have such a big part in creating this.
Yeah.
I know you will never feel exactly the same way I feel about the shop because it is my baby, essentially.
Yeah.
But I think for me was one thing that, like, when I helped other coffee shops start, whether it was in Orange County, whether it was here in San Diego, whether it was like anywhere I've worked, I felt like I gave my all, but I didn't feel like it was reciprocated.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or
Totally.
people
Absolutely.
didn't give a fuck. And it's like
100%.
I want to let you know, it's like, you might only be here for a short time. You might only be here for whatever. I'm not ignorant to that fact, but while you are here, I want you to think of this as like your own. Like, you helped do this. You helped create this. I've told you so many times. I tell you all the time.
You do.
I could not have done this without you. Period. There's nothing else to say to that. That's just
Yeah.
like, that's 100% fact. So I think with that, it's like, no, she's got it. Like,
Yeah,
why would I not
fair.
trust you to be here?
Yeah.
I trusted you when there was nothing in the shop, when
Yeah.
it was just like an idea and like getting this shit up on the wall. You would be texting me when I'm in Mexico City, like, hey, how's it going? Like, hey, you'd send me photos and updates and these things. It's like, I'm trusting you to do this while I'm gone. And it was like, okay, like,
Yeah.
maybe I shouldn't be traveling and having like somewhat of a small vacation or like celebrating my friend's
No,
birthday.
that's wrong. You should.
But no, that's you though. That's you saying it's okay. I got this.
Yeah.
So whether or not you believe in yourself saying that you got this, by you taking charge and saying like, hey, go.
Yeah.
I got this. Or like, it's okay. Go ahead. It's like, then in my head, it's like, okay, you can go. I trust you. And then you've continuously proved yourself.
Yeah.
Without
Yeah.
even really proving yourself. You're just like, yo, I got this. And then like everything happened. Granted, the window broke on the one day that you guys weren't here. Literally the only day.
Yeah.
So, but that's not your fault. So, like, and then all the homies, like, you set up the bat signal and like, Leah was here. Allison was here. Fucking Dylan was here.
Coming and like putting that shit up, putting the wood up.
Dude,
But-
crazy.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy.
I will say I do appreciate how much you trust me. I have a lot of experience in coffee, like working at the Merchant in Long Beach, great coffee shop if you're in Long Beach. I did a lot there, and I do feel really capable, but I didn't really feel like appreciated in the amount of work and like effort and love that I put in, because that was my first job and I worked there for almost 4 years.
Your first job
First job
ever.
Holy
shit.
Yeah. I started there 2017, like right after they opened or something, and now they are like doing so good and like super proud of them and whatever. But I really appreciate how much you trust me, and like I do have, I feel like everyone has a little bit of like imposter syndrome,
Are you talking about yourself right now? Because
Yes.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's definitely you.
Yeah, like to
100%.
like hardcore.
To a T.
Yeah, truly. I mean, like, okay, so I went to UCLA, right? And along the campus, they had so many posters about imposter syndrome, and like, which is,
What?
yeah, like,
Why?
because I feel like a lot of people feel that way being there, because it's like such a like nationwide renowned school. It's like
International. I would say internationally
Okay,
renowned school, because there's a lot of people who go there from all over the world.
Okay, fair. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But it is like so crazy, like big, and like being there, you don't feel like you should be there. And like me being there, I was like, I should not be here. Like, I applied there to transfer like on a whim. I went to UCSB applied to transfer, and I was like, I'm not gonna get in, whatever. Like, I'll just apply for.
Wait, you went to UCSB, another hard school, and then you transferred from there to UCLA?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And let me tell you,
Okay.
graduated cum laude. Like, I
You sorority girl?
No. Do you know?
What is that cum laude? I don't know what the fuck that means. What does that mean?
It's like, I basically almost had like a 4.0. Like, I did super well. I studied my ass
Did you
off.
really?
Yeah. Like, hardcore.
Okay, queen. Okay, go off, queen.
But like the entire time I was there, I was just like, I got in here on like a fluke. I should have just stayed at Santa Barbara. Like, all my homies are there. My boo is there. Like,
My boo is there.
but like, I am just like at this school, and I do not feel like I should be here. Like, I am not smart enough to be here. And like, I think that experience, being there for 2 years, like, has really affected how I like move throughout the world now. And like, I just like constantly feel like I am not like good enough, or like I don't trust my own judgment. And it's so frustrating because like I got in there. Like,
Yeah, like, dude, wait. That actually, while you're saying this, I'm thinking about kind of like what we were talking about before the podcast, about like the creativity and the things that you've created since you've actually been working for C&G. To that point of trusting yourself, you literally in one day, I remember you designed the new Caffeine GREEN logo with like the coffee plant and the little crown, and then it took you a couple more days. You did the spray paint graffiti one that we do on the latte cups. And then right as of recently, which I wanted to get into, was we're gonna be the praying hands, the another new logo. So this is gonna be 4 logos that you've designed for Caffeine GREEN. 4? No. The guy hand and the girl hand are 2 different designs. Fair. So that's 4. So along with not only designing the interior, you've come up with 4 graphics for C&G, and yet you're still thinking that you're imposter?
yeah.
That's how. Do you understand that what you're doing, literally, what you're doing, and for everybody listening, I'm not taking advantage of her. I am fully appreciative of this. So fuck off if you think so. Regardless, you have made so many cool things for the brand that I don't understand how you don't see what you offer. You're like, we talked about this earlier. You're super creative, and because you're so creative, I've been able to do the things that I've been able to do because I was like, hey, I wanted this video, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, that's cool, and we'll do the videos relatively quick, but it's all about editing anyway. So it's just like cut. I already know what shots I want to do. Boom, boom, boom. We can get a fucking 30-second video in less than an hour.
Mm-hmm.
But with that being said, is like, you're down for these videos. We've been creative, so you're super creative on that, on top of everything else that you're doing. So how are you thinking you're still imposter syndrome?
I feel like anyone could do it, you know? And it's like, I'm doing these things, and it's
what
like,
about designing these logos, though? The logos is not like...
I don't know. I feel like anyone can do that. And like, I love how stoked you are on them, but I look at them and I'm like, I feel like they could be cooler.
What are you talking about? Every design you do gets better.
And yes, practice does make perfect. And I think
yes,
working
obviously.
for you and like how much you like support and like give me the validation that I need to like continue doing this, and like feeling like I can do this is super nice. But I don't know. I feel like it could be better. And like, I feel like it really stems from like, yeah, like I did these things. I graduated. I like went to this school. I did this. But I just feel like it like still isn't enough. And like, maybe that's just because I hold myself to a really high standard, but also like, I don't know. I just feel like it could be better.
No, I think there is some validity in what you're saying, in the sense that that's what drives me. I'm never satisfied.
Yeah.
But that's also what they say drives most entrepreneurs. You know, I fucking hate that term. I do. I don't like it. I'm not big on that term at all. But when it comes down to, at the end of the day, sorry. At the end of the day, that's what drives people. If you are not satisfied with what you have at this moment and you keep driving for more and more, you're only going to get better, and you're only going to get to become a better version of yourself.
Yeah.
And you're going to be able to like reach new heights, because I mean, you're going to look back on these things that you're doing for me right now and you'd be like, oh, those were sick, but like, look what I do now. So like you fast forward maybe even like a year, 2 years, 3 years, you're going to look back on this. You're like, oh, this shit's budget. Like I could have figured this out better or whatever. But like for me, it's like, I don't see that right now, because I look at it and I'm like, damn, this shit is way better than anything I could have done. And that's no hate to what was already created. Like I paid my homie Eric to do the Notorious logo.
Which is such a sick logo.
Yeah, that's a great logo. The Sugar Skull logo that's in the back of the t-shirts or the hoodies, and also like the C&G font. Like, dude, he was amazing. He did a great work. And then there's my homie Kevin, who did the OG, like the one that we're looking at right here. And then Nick Shields from Shieldless Mag.
I love. Okay, shout out Shieldless. Shout out Morning Sesh. That is my favorite coffee that we make.
Dude, yeah.
It is fire. Like, don't get me wrong. I love the Issa Blend and I love the Notorious, but I got a bag of the Morning Sesh in my house right now. Like, I love that bag.
Dude, that seems to be like my go-to. Like, for some reason, Colombia coffees, I'm just like, that was one with Leov. When I would do the Spikes roast for a different company, she would tell me all the time, she's like, this is my favorite roast that you do. It's like, dude, and it's a single origin Colombian coffee. I don't know what it is.
It is so good. Like, from what I've heard about it, Ruben has told me that like you guys like cupped it. You guys all like worked very closely on the Morning Sesh to get it as good as it could be, and it is my favorite coffee.
Fuck yeah.
It is so dope. I love drip coffee, but it's not my go-to. But coming into work every day, I pour myself a cup of it because we serve Morning Sesh on our batch, and it's so good.
Dude, 100%. You know what's so crazy? I was just thinking about that today. It's like, dude, you know, I mean, we don't waste a lot of coffee because we only have like that push pot. But, dude, it's so random. And out of all the coffee jobs I've ever worked, my own shop, nobody wants to drink my batch brew. It's crazy. Everybody just wants to drink the espresso-based drinks or just
our
straight
espresso is really good.
It's fair.
I have to say it's really good.
It's fair. That's super fair. But it's just crazy to me because everywhere I've worked, whether it was Zoom Bar, whether it was 7 C's, whether it was fucking Steel Mill, people wanted the batch brew. And
it's like a classic coffee drink.
Dude,
like,
people, and we even switched the menu and it has batch brew on it now. And people are just like, no.
Okay, well,
mushroom latte, fucking this, that, this.
To be fair, the mushroom latte with the Issa Blend espresso is fire.
Dude, the coffee soda with the Issa Blend.
Yeah, the coffee soda. If anyone is actually listening, like, try the coffee soda. Come to Caffeine Green. I will make you a coffee soda. It is so good. I drink it every single day. Kano asks me to make him one every single day. Like, it is so good. But the batch brew, Morning Sesh, wonderful. And to be fair, you did just put the new menu up 2 days ago.
This is fair, yes.
2 days ago.
People have been noticing, though.
Really?
Yeah, people have been coming in and they're like, dude, I like the menu.
Yeah.
Dude, the girls from Vasa over here?
Yeah.
Oh, they came in. They were all hyped on the menu.
Oh, my God. Yes.
Yes.
I love that. That makes me so happy. Dude. I picked the menu, everyone.
You did. You did. From Ukraine, of all places.
From Ukraine.
Dude, I didn't know that until we just put it up the other night. I did not know that.
I told your mom and she was like, it's not going to get here for like 3 months. And I was like, it'll be fine. Don't worry.
How long did it take?
I want to say it took like a little less than a month. It was like a little over 3 weeks, but a little less than a month. And like, you know, that was cool because the guy that I was like in like contact with was like, it's going to take us 2 weeks to make it and then like 1 week to ship. And I was like, okay, cool. And we had ordered it like end of April and we were hoping to have it before we opened in May, but just like timing wise, and it arrived like right before June. So we just sucked at like putting it up. You know?
No, I did. I definitely sucked at putting it up. I will take the L on that. Yeah. But like, dude, I'm just doing a lot of things.
I know, but you did say, hey, Saf, don't worry. I'll put it up this weekend. And I came back.
Yeah, but I'm by myself. And like, fuck, I'm sorry. It's hard. Like, I've been a one-man team for so long. But like, literally now, I will admit, I need some help, which is why you're here. But we're still only a 2-person team. So, like...
So
to be fair, come on now. Like, we're only 2 people. We move very slow. Shout out to Jackie, though. Jackie hung in there for a little bit.
We love Jackie.
You know, shout out Jackie Medvets. She's the fucking best. Dude, 100%. The girl, if you guys go on the Instagram, everybody commented like, yo, and I even got into a skate competition or a skate contest, and two of my homies come like, who was the girl with the blonde hair? She sounded exactly like you.
Exactly like you. It is like insane. Like Anna, hashtag I love you, Anna, from Steel Mill was like, yo, who's that new girl who's working at Caffeine and Green? And I was like, dude, that's Jackie. And she was like, she sounds exactly like Kano. And I was like, girl, I know.
Dude.
They are so similar. I'm like, I stand out like a sore thumb. Like,
Not
they're
even.
so similar.
No, it's fine. Because, like, I think most people have this, like, if it's not me, they associate Caffeine and Green with you. And it's like, I'm okay with that. Like, if they're going to associate anybody with Caffeine and Green, I'd rather it be you. Because it's like, I know I can be rough around the edges sometimes, especially if you catch me on like a morning when I'm off. Like fuck, like first thing in the morning, like, oh, watch out. But it's like you, regardless, you could come in hungover,
which I do.
A couple hours of sleep. Like I went to bed at 1 and I got up at 5, like or something like that, or even like I went to bed at 3 and I'm here right now. Like, like you're still pleasant, and people are like, hey, it's sad, you know, like, all right, cool. So it's like another reason why I really don't mind having you here. I think it's just like, this is fine.
This is fine. This
is
cool.
going to be okay.
That's good to hear. Right before this podcast, I looked at Kano and I was like, aren't you glad that I'm not super annoying?
I was like, yeah. I was like, well.
That's why I hired you.
I was like, that's why I hired you. I was like, first of all, if you were super annoying, I definitely wouldn't have hired you. You could have helped me design all you want, but like, the end of the day, we're gonna
like,
fucking. I'd be like, dude, nah, son, like, I can't deal with you all day. But I worked at you at Steel Mill, so it was like,
yeah. And you know, I really enjoyed working with you at Steel Mill. It was a lot of fun. We had a lot of dance parties, which we still do now at Caffeine and Green, baby.
Brad Pitt, baby.
Okay, wait. Can we tell all of our listeners our Brad Pitt story?
Hold
because
on, I gotta pee.
Brad Pitt, baby.
Hold on, we're back, and we're back. Okay, so we were talking about Brad. Oh, yeah. Dude,
I waited for you.
I cannot wait until after the podcast. We're going to fucking go to Red Wing, and we're going to karaoke.
We're going to karaoke. I got to hear Kano sing.
We might have to be there for like an hour, so you have to be ready for this.
Okay, that's cool.
All right.
I'm kind of feeling it. So
I know, so you might have to just like crash.
I have to work tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. Down the street, you'll be all right. So
okay, do you see what I'm wearing?
Yeah, and I have a feeling that you'd probably have no problem wearing that tomorrow. So it's like, yeah.
I make a point to dress appropriately for work. For the most part.
Okay.
You know.
Steel Mill, if you're listening, please back me up on this.
Okay, whoa. Twice I wore these short shorts, but I wore a baggy t-shirt on top to balance it out. Yes, I did. You're
pretty much wearing exactly what you were wearing there.
I am not wearing it.
This is super uncomfortable. Can we just move on to subject? Yo.
Brad
Pitt, baby. Brad Pitt, baby. I got the hiccups. God damn it.
You deserve it.
Anyways, Brad Pitt.
Okay, so Brad Pitt. Connor comes into Steel Mill one day and he's like, yeah, I'm like really skinny right now, but like, you know, I'm getting real like built.
I had just
right
finished my fight. That's why.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, I dropped down to 136, and then I went and did a fight. Won that fucking fight.
Hell yeah, King. Yeah, you did.
Won the fucking fight. But then I was like, Sav. Like standard Sav. She's always like, Connor, you're getting a little skinny.
Okay, I tell him he's getting skinny, but there's nothing wrong with that. We love
skinny skater boys.
We do. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, it's always been my type. If any of my like high school boys and guy friends listen to this, they can back me. We've always loved skinny boys. Anywho. So
I don't really fuck with that, and I'm like, yo, I'm trying to like get a little thick, or not like thick, but just gain my weight back. Grown-ass man at 35 years old is 136 pounds. That's not attractive. I don't care what you say.
We like almost weigh the same amount.
Yeah, that's not the case now. But at the time, I was like, damn, like, I'd really like to gain some weight, and I really think it'd be okay to like do. I would like Brad Pitt in Fight Club, and you're like, you know, his workout is on the fucking online.
Okay, backstory to that. So Kano was like, yeah, I'm really skinny. And I'm like, okay, we love that. And he's like, no. And I'm like, okay, well, my boo, shout out Nick Gregg.
Shout out Nick.
He, in college, when I first met him, I would see him walking around the dining commons eating like just like a bowl of like 3 hard-boiled eggs and then a bowl of like raw spinach. Nothing on it, just spinach. And I was like, homeboy is so weird, but like hot. And I was like, what is going on? And he was like, yeah, I'm on the Brad Pitt diet. I do a specific workout. I only eat lean proteins and like XYZ because the workout to be Brad Pitt in Fight Club is on the internet and I follow it religiously. And so I was like, hey, Kano, Brad Pitt. And he was like, yo, what?
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That's what we were talking about. And that specific scene where he's on top of the roof and he's like a thick Brad Pitt. Uh-huh. I was like, I don't really need to be Brad Pitt in Fight Club, but like that Brad Pitt and like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I'm down.
You're like, okay, I'm in. But like, so that is where Brad Pitt started. And Kano, like, for the next, like, I don't know, like 2 months.
3.5 months.
Okay.
It was 3.5 months.
He's like working out, tracking it. And one day he comes in and he's like, Sav, this is weird. I don't really want to show you this, but I have to show you this. And he shows me.
Because it was you. But wait. You skipped the key part there. I was like, I don't want to show you this, but I have to show you this because you're the person who like, and who was here when this, like, you're the person that made this happen.
Oh, also because it was, I was hired in August. I think you won your fight in like September.
I won my fight in September. And then right before I went to go see Leov in February.
Yeah.
It was like January.
Yeah. Okay. But I was like, yo, like, you should be Brad Pitt from Fight Club for Halloween. Like, you could totally pull that off. And I was like, you should cut your hair short. Like, you could go blonde. And Connor was like, you know, I would do it. I love Halloween. And like, he's telling me all of these like dope Halloween costumes he's like really gone in on. And I'm like, okay, you should be Brad Pitt for Halloween. And he like went with it, you know?
But I showed you a photo of like,
yes,
I took a photo.
A shirtless photo. And he's like, I have to show you this and he showed it to me with a little bit of shame.
Definitely shame. Because it's like, how much younger than I am? You're like 12 years younger?
11.
11, that's right.
11.
Yesterday. You're 11 years younger. And it's like, I know you have a boyfriend and shit, but it's just like, I was showing this to you because of the fact
you're being Brad Pitt.
Like, you're my homie, and you were the person who was like, on the day it happened, that showed it to me. I was like, all right, like, it's been 3.5 months.
Yeah.
I want to show you this.
It was a great day.
I showed it. You were like, damn, okay, King. Like, damn, I see abs. And I was like, yeah, what's poppin'?
You're like, oh, you know, whatever.
Dude, it was a lot of hard work. And then
you looked good.
It's slowly like deteriorating. With the shop, I'm like just drinking and just like not working out. Like, it's sad.
It's cool. It's fine.
We'll get back to Brad Pitt.
Yeah, we'll get there. You know.
We'll get there.
Kano is implementing mandatory lunch now.
Dude, I did. I actually have some. Do you like fish?
Yeah.
Do you like salmon?
Yeah.
Okay. There is 4 meals because Leov. I got these meals for Leov, and the meal prep place didn't give me the meals that she wanted.
Oh, and she doesn't like fish.
Well, no. They're supposed to give them to us last week.
Okay.
But they missed the delivery, and so they brought them to us yesterday.
And she's
like, I have to cut out sodium. So I got like the sodium for the sodium count for the fish and shit. They gave me 4, 6, and 8. They're essentially like little pieces of salmon steaks.
Yeah. And
they're like pretty buttery. And then they gave me like one chicken one that ended up being like buffalo chicken, like some sweet potatoes and rice.
Okay, all right.
It was actually pretty fire. I ate it today. But the other fish ones, I was like, I texted Leov, if you want these, they're here. Just no response. So I was like, safe bet.
She's like, no.
We'll probably just eat them. So there's lunches here for you tomorrow. We have
I'm so excited.
Fish, broccoli, and rice. We have fish, sweet potatoes, and rice. So
this is great.
Caffeine and Green provides.
Caffeine and Green makes sure their employees eat because every day I forget to eat and Connor was like, bro.
Did we eat today? That's what I said to you. Did we eat today? Because I don't remember to eat. And that's bad. That's probably why I'm getting so skinny.
You know, it's okay that you're skinny. We like skinny.
No, it's not okay. There needs to be some.
Skinny, scrawny boys. Ooh.
No, stop playing. It's disgusting. I'm not a fan of skinny, scrawny boys because I've been skinny my whole life, except for like when I was a kid. I was super fat.
So, but on that note, you do like boys?
I mean, that was fucking lame. Anyway, what was the other thing we were going to talk about? Sorry, we digressed.
We definitely tangented. We went on a tangent.
Tangented?
Okay. Shut up. Kano once posted something with the caption, we are the funnest. And I went, you mean most fun? And he went, fuck, I already posted it.
You can't edit it.
So, if you ever see things with incorrect grammar or wrong word choice, it's not me. It's Kano.
100%. 100%. And that's okay. That's okay. We're not perfect over here, and we're not trying to play like we are. But that's okay. That's okay. One thing I did want to talk about, as I digressed,
Classic.
was the new graphic.
Oh yes,
the new graphic that I'm so stoked on. It's the praying hands.
Yes.
The praying hands are going to be coming out next week, probably by the end of the month, and it's a little bit of a twist on like pretty much your standard like Chicano culture, Mexicano culture, Chicano culture, whatever you want to look at, of the praying hands.
Yes.
But because the reason this came about, I think this is important to kind of give a backstory for everybody who's listening and who will listen about like if you have any questions about like this specific graphic. It's because Sav was super over having to explain what caffeine and green means to people who come in. And I've been trying to tell her that regardless if we put something out, people are going to continuously ask about it regardless.
Yes,
and
truly.
But she was like, I don't believe this, so I'm going to design a logo that I think would be dope. And she did this all on her own. I did not tell her to put the praying hands. She just came to me. She's like, what do you think about this? And it was like basically the praying hands with some money.
Mm-hmm.
And there's going to be a CNG in there, and there's some San Diego. I won't give it away because we'll showcase it obviously on the on Instagram and stuff like that. We've already given some teasers. We've blocked it out. She's showing me a photo right now of her. Is that how you did it?
That literally
is like let me see that.
I literally was okay. So I'm in the shop all the time, and all of these people are like, "So what's caffeine and what's the green? Is it weed? What is the green?"
That is your hands.
It's my hands.
Dude, can you send me that?
Yeah,
because when we actually put the logo out, I want people to we'll put that as the slide. That way people can see it.
You see me in the shop. It's on self-timer. I had to take a photo of myself in the shop, just trying to get the hands right so I could use it as a reference photo. And it's self-timered, and I'm just how do I get the hands to look weird or not weird, have it look right? And it is the silliest picture. But all of these people just come in and they're just like, what is the green? Is it weed? I don't see any weed in here. And I'm like, it's actually about money. And then I tell this whole story about Kano really loves Nipsey Hussle, and he started a podcast, and Hustle and Motivate is something Nipsey says all the time, or had said all the time, and that name was taken.
It was a song. Just anyways.
Okay, wow,
yeah,
good
Hustle
to know.
and Motivate.
Really good to know.
It's called Hustle and Motivate is the name of the song. Yeah. Anyways.
Clearly, I don't listen to Nipsey Hussle. But I would explain that to people, and then I would be like, so what is Kano's hustle? Coffee. What is his motivation? Green. Money. And I was just so tired of telling people that I was like, I'm just going to make a graphic. What is Kano? Who is he at his heart? And it's
is that really what you thought?
Well, I was like, yeah.
Wow,
kind of, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And when I met Kano, he was just always talking about his Chicano background and how his how the influence of his dad, who's Mexican, really has had on him. And he is all about Mexican culture. He grew up with it, and he's been going down to Mexico all the time recently. And I was like, that's classic imagery. I also have been watching Ink Master, and they just had a challenge about praying hands, and I was like, that would be dope. And then what if we put money in it. So no one will ask me anymore, what is the green? I can just show them that sticker and be like, that is the green. That is it. And so the graphic is Kano's hands and then my hands.
Yes.
As like the male and the female version.
Dude, the female version, the no cap, like I really like the female version a lot more. Like I love mine. Like I think it's really cool, and we added my heart birthmark.
Yes, he has the cutest little heart birthmark on his pointer finger.
Yes.
He's like, can we put that on the graphic? And I was like,
just so it could be like my hand. Like, yeah, just so it could be like my hands. That's why it's like, like fast forward in a couple weeks, I will be getting a hand tattoo to make the graphic real.
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's super legit, and I think that's super interesting hearing that coming from you, because it's like, wow, that's very interesting. How
that like came from just like,
I didn't know all of that, like what you just said, but that's super interesting, is like through just our relationship of just hanging out and like getting to know each other. That's how you base that whole thing.
Yeah, like
show me that photo too. Was dope. Yeah. That was super cool.
It's a really silly photo. You guys will all probably see it at some point, but like I like had the idea and I sketched it out on a piece of like receipt paper.
You did.
Yeah.
And you left it for me after I came back from the farmer's market, and you were like, and you just wrote on top of the sketch, thoughts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you still have it?
Yeah, it's somewhere in my stuff. I'll bring it to you.
Dude, you have to bring
that.
Like that way we could show like the final graphic, your hands, and then your sketch.
Like, thought process. Yeah. Because like I like had the idea and I was like, I'm just gonna like sketch it out real quick. And I was like, this could be kind of dope. I don't know, like you, Kano, are super open to like all of the ideas that I have, which I really appreciate. And like I was like, well, if he doesn't like it, he doesn't like it. It was just like a quick 3-minute sketch while I was like in like a lull. There was like no one in the shop. I was like, okay, like this might be a cool idea. And like you liked it. He like pulled me aside the next day and was like, yo, like I wanted to talk to you about it in person. I love it. Like, let's do it. And I was like, sick.
No, but we actually had like a more in-depth conversation about it though. And like I actually like to get into that because I think it's important to kind of highlight that. Because in coffee, and this is what I said to you when I was like, hey, can we have a conversation about it? I said, I love it, but I don't like it. Mm-hmm. And so with that being said, or I said like, I like it, but I don't like it. I think that was like an easier way to put it. But where I was coming from, and this is for like any of the listeners out there who are like super coffee people, who are like super PC and, left leaning, like I'm not saying like anything political, but it's just like, I can understand where this is coming from. And then at the same time, then there's like the people who like don't even give a fuck, and they're like training, and like they're just in it for the image aspect. And neither one is wrong. But as the business owner, and I think about perception.
Yeah, of course. It's like of course you want to be on the right side of things. Like you want to like stand like your ground, and like also like advocate for those who don't have voices and stuff. And like,
but it's not even about that. It's like, I think to your point, yes. Everything you said, yes.
Yeah, and also, you're a business owner. It's
exactly.
Like, this is your baby.
Exactly, and it's also like we're already in our own lane. I've said that ad nauseum. I think maybe not even on the podcast because we haven't been on it, but like to people who we're talking about, like, or people who've been coming to the shop who talk about anything like that, it's like I really do feel like we're in our own lane.
Yeah.
Like Nipsey said, like my favorite Nipsey quote that I've been using to reference this is like. He's in I fucking can't think of the song name right now, but he said like rich gang begging music shit. I know my lane. That's what he says. Like, that's like what he said. He's like rich gang begging music. I know my lane. And like, I feel like a hip hop coffee shop. I know my lane. I'm in my own shit. Like people who know me in the coffee industry know that you're going to get quality coffee when you come here. There's no bullshit. There's no,
and I mean, also like you have like the background to like back your shit, like you're not just like trying to like get in on what's cool, or like trying to like be a part of something that you don't really like have the experience to be a part of. Like you are like hip hop through and through. Like,
well, it's like, dude, you want to talk hip hop? We could talk hip hop all day, but it's like, I want to add it to my coffee shit. Like, it's like, that's
totally,
so that's what I'm saying is like, when we talked about it, I think about the coffee culture and the coffee, like, again, like what we talked about earlier in the podcast is like being in North Park specifically. This is like the specialty coffee mecca of San Diego, in my opinion.
Yeah. Because
it's the most concentrated. So what we do here could really affect how people see us.
Totally.
So that's why I said to Sav when we sat down and talked about that graphic that I feel like the specialty coffee people might not really dig it.
Yeah.
Because we are portraying or even exuding glamour and money and like the things that rap music kind of does, like
totally.
money, bitches, like you
Hoes,
know that type, all that type of shit.
Yeah.
And it's not even about that. It's just like, hey, we're having fucking fun with it.
Yeah.
I wear a grill.
Yeah.
And you know what? Like this is who it is, and that's what you're gonna get when you come here.
Yeah.
But it's also a vibe, and it's also a lot of love, and it's like, yo, like,
also like, you know your craft. You have worked hard for your craft. You constantly work to better your craft. Like, yes, it's like a kind of a silly graphic, like praying hands with money and stuff. But like I mostly was just tired of explaining that green is not weed. Like, it is not weed. We don't do that. You can smoke a joint if you want, but like not in the shop.
Dude,
like,
yeah,
I'm sorry.
like you can smoke a joint out front of the shop. I don't give a fuck. Like,
I don't
you want to
care.
smoke a spliff?
Like, you do that.
Smoke a fucking
You
spliff.
do that.
Do your damn thing. It's just San Diego. It's
like,
California.
We
like,
love weed, but like green in Caffeine and Green is not weed.
Yeah.
It's money.
Caffeine is the hustle, is my hustle. It's our hustle. Caffeine is what we're doing. And what is the motivation?
The green. And like, yes, Kano did like approach me and he was like, yo, like, I don't know if people are gonna like not like this. Like, I don't want people to think like we're only in it for the money or whatever. Like, but like, I think if you know Kano and you've like been to Caffeine and Green and you see the like caliber of the like work he puts in, like, clearly it's not just about the money. Like, he clearly cares about this stuff. And like, yeah, it's a funny graphic, but like, we don't take ourselves seriously here.
No,
it's
and
like,
that's at the end of the day, like, what is it, right? Like, I did say this to you, and I want to acknowledge it because I don't want to hide behind some curtain of like I'm so fucking like I don't know, like above it, you know.
Yeah.
But it's like I'm not above it. It's like, yo, like I said to you, this specialty coffee and people might fucking hate it, but people who are not in specialty coffee will probably love it. And it's like, yo, it's something fun. It's something cool. But even if people fucking hate it, they're going to be like, did you see what they did?
Yeah.
Did you see what they fucking did, this Caffeine and Green shit? And they're going to be like, I got to look at it. And they're going to look at it regardless. And you know what? Any publicity is good publicity. Bad publicity, good publicity. In my opinion, that's marketing 101. And that's where my marketing brain goes. Like, that's what my degree is in college.
Truth.
That's what I like, dude, me and Tyler, bringing it back to Tyler again, we've talked about marketing ad nauseum.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, at the end of the day,
yeah,
it's about how are we going to grow this?
Yeah.
How
I
are we
mean,
going to get it
also,
out there?
I mean, like, in the idea of that, like, sex sells, you see how the Kardashians are doing it? Like, any publicity is publicity. But, like, in regards to that, like, yes, any publicity is publicity. But if you come to the shop and you see how genuine and, like, about your craft, like, intense, like, you can be intense about your craft.
I'm super intense.
Like,
yes.
really intense about it. But, like, you see how much you care. It's like,
Because
like,
I care, though.
yeah.
Because I give a fuck about it. Like, I
Yeah.
wouldn't have done this if I didn't actually give a fuck.
exactly.
Like,
And it's like, yeah, maybe the graphic, like makes some people like, oh, like, what the
Uncomfortable?
heck?
Yeah.
Yeah. But, like, if they come in and, like, talk to you and see how much you know your shit, like, how long you've been roasting and, like, taste the coffee. Because, like, we put so much effort into building this menu. Like,
dude, and that's
every
that's
drink
for
is
real.
so good.
That's for real. And that's like also what I wanted to, like, I felt like maybe I might have been straying away from it, but it's like, like what I wanted to like really kind of come back to was that, like, at the end of the day, like, that's just something to get your attention. Because at the end of the day, I really just want you to come in and
try the
experience
coffee,
it.
yeah.
Like, dude, we don't serve food. We are 100% a fucking coffee shop.
100%.
And I really feel like the reason we can succeed on that is because people, they don't need the bullshit.
Yeah.
They don't need like a fucking donut.
They don't need like a
this.
scone or
Yeah.
a donut. It's like,
And
I
no
want
hate, because we're
coffee.
definitely going to start, like, we're definitely going to be doing pop-ups on Saturdays from now on. And we're going to
Yeah,
be
we're
having
looking-
waffle sandwiches thanks to Nick.
Hashtag we love Nick and his stupid waffle affogato idea.
And the maple bar walks into a bar.
Okay, wait. Okay, we have to talk about that.
Dude, so good. So good.
Okay, no, we got to talk about that. So, our good friend Allison paid money on Kano's Kickstarter to name a drink on the menu, and it is called the Disco Cap. She loves cappuccinos. She did a play on the like term disco nap because she loves raves, and like Disco Cap, so cute, so fun. She wanted glitter, and we were like, how do we make this stand out apart from the glitter? And we decided on a maple brown sugar syrup. It tastes like a freaking like what do you call it? What you said? What do you?
What did I say?
It's like I don't know, French toast or something.
Oh, okay, I remember. So when we were first discovering it, it was the Jack in the Box French toast sticks dipping in the syrup. 100%. That's what it tasted like. Yo, like no cap. Like,
so if you've ever had that from Jack in the Box, come in, try the Disco Cap. But with
edible glitter.
Yes, with edible glitter. It is fantastic. It is delicious. But I put the syrup that we made into a cold brew, which we did as a special for Father's Day. We're thinking about making it a, full-time menu special. Come in, tell Kano you like it. Maybe he'll do it. But my boyfriend, Nick Rett, goes, yo, like, I really want waffles with ice cream and espresso, and then, like, the maple cold brew, like, a maple bar walks into a bar. We'll shorten that, of course, to WIBTA. I don't even know what the acronym is.
Yeah, some acronym.
And he's like, for sure, of course.
He sends it, and Sav shows me the text, and I was like, damn, we're going to throw that in a cold brew? And then we tried it with the oat milk.
Yes.
And it slapped.
Fire.
It's so good.
It is so good. To be fair, I made the drink for him, and he was like, oh, this is so good. This is my new favorite drink, whatever. And Kano, likes to credit Nick for the drink, but it was all me. But
dude, hey, I mean, he even had illustrations. We could even post the illustrations of Nick in fucking Sav's text of Nick showing it's like a Canadian maple leaf, like walking into a bar. Like, yo, what the fuck?
It is so silly. But I mean,
was dope.
yo, you gotta come into Caffeine Green, get our cold brew, which funks with our maple brown sugar syrup. We make it in-house. One of a kind. It's delicious.
Nobody's fucking with it.
Quality.
Yeah.
No one's fucking with it?
Nobody's fucking with it. No,
What does
meaning
that
like
mean?
in a good way. That's like a good thing.
Oh.
It's like, ain't nobody fucking with us. Like, yo, like yeah, like we got this maple brown sugar cold brew. Ain't nobody fucking with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, like everybody's fucking with it, but like nobody's fucking with it because you can't touch us. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, like nobody's doing no maple brown sugar cold brew. You know how crazy it is that we're like, for me. Okay, I'm gonna share something. Yo, real quick. Like, real quick.
RQ.
So for me, I think my point of pride that I've noticed in the last, it'll be 5 weeks on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
My point of pride.
24th, 23rd of June.
23rd. 23rd. 23rd of June will be 5 weeks.
Sheesh.
My point of pride is, and I haven't said anything about this, we consistently are coming up with drinks that nobody's doing.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty incredible, especially in the saturated market that we're in right now in North Park. I have not seen the drinks we're doing in anywhere. To be fair, though, I'm not really looking. But when I do see coffee companies that I do follow and I do see the things that they're doing, nobody's doing the drinks we're doing. And that's been for the last couple of years. I really think it's quite unique that I guess like we and I have been blessed enough that we have outside perspective to bring us things that have not been done, at least in the immediate vicinity. I won't say ever, but the immediate vicinity.
Mm-hmm.
Like Allison. Allison saying that, like, you know, she wanted edible glitter.
Yeah, which I love. I
Dude.
think that is the cutest freaking thing.
Dude, it worked, and it translated to the video that we just posted
yeah.
today on Instagram. It fucking worked in a way that I would never have thought it would have worked. Fuck yeah. Kudos to her.
We love Allison.
Love her. She's so dope. But then at the same time, I mean, like, these things of, like, the maple brown sugar cold brew. Like, Nick thought of that. He came in. You thought of that. You thought of the maple brown sugar for sure because you put it put it in the fucking cappuccino.
I did. And the only reason I put it in the cold brew was because I went, hey, you want a coffee for when I, like, leave here? And he was like, yeah, can I get a Mexican mocha? And I was like, I already cleaned the machine. You want a cold brew?
Is that how you really came up with it?
Yeah. He was like, yeah, can I have a Mexican mocha? And I was like, I already cleaned the machine. And I texted him back like, would you be okay with a cold brew? I'll put some syrup in it. And he was like, yeah, okay. And I was like, I don't want to put vanilla in it. I'll put our other syrup in it. Wow. That's how I came up with it.
Really? And that's how you came up with it?
Yeah. Wow. And then he tried it and he was like, yo, Sav, this is so good.
Dude, I've given it to everybody, and everybody who drinks it, they inhale it.
Really?
They fucking inhale it. I gave out so many yesterday. Dude, I was like, hey, so, like, this was our Father's Day special, but I think we're still going to keep it.
Yeah.
It's a maple brown sugar cold brew.
Yeah. And they liked it?
Slaps. Like, I gave it to Steph, Jiu-Jitsu. Steph Jiu-Jitsu. And she fucking inhaled it. I fucking inhaled it, too. And I was like, yo, what the fuck? And then, like, I gave it to a couple other people, and they inhaled it. They were like, this is so good. Like,
I am so stoked because truly I love maple brown sugar as, like, a flavor combo, and, like, our cold brew funks. Adding that to our cold brew funks. It is just so good. Like, I go to coffee shops and I'm like, dang, I wish I could like do that. Like, if I ever stop working in coffee, the one thing I will be sad about is, like, not being able to, like, make my own drink, because that is my favorite thing. Like, I gotta, like, customize it to my own specific preferences. Like, I am super picky with my coffee, and, like, working at a coffee shop makes it easy.
100%. Dude, I've been doing the ceremonial matcha from Holy Matcha. So, like, the iced Americano with, like, a little bit of matcha. Then I add like, a 1 ounce of vanilla.
I love vanilla and matcha. It is so good.
It slaps.
It is so good.
So fucking fire. Like,
I love that. Y'all, you got to try our matcha. It's from Holy Matcha. Shout out Geraldine once again.
Dude, again.
Yo, she is
second shout out. That's how dope she is. Like, yo, like, I'm a fan. I'm a fan. I'm not even going to lie. Like, I'm a fan of her and her husband. Yo, big shout out to both of them. Like, yo, they're both dope. They saw my fucking book over here that, what's her name?
Oh, yeah.
Valeria gave over.
Yeah, like, the Nas book.
The Nas book. And they were like, yo, do you like Nas? I was like, yeah. I fucking love Nas. It's like
did
my
you see that
favorite
picture
rapper.
of Nas rolling a J in the corner of the shop?
No, it's a blunt. It's not a J. It's a blunt. Okay. Just so don't get it twisted.
Whatever.
Don't get it twisted. How? Nah. Say Dude, okay. Have we not covered anything? Because we're about to kill an hour and a half. Like, just
what?
Like that. Like, dude.
I don't know. You're the one guiding this podcast, even though I'm the one, keeping you on track.
I
mean,
like
I always
you
do.
have been, yeah, mostly. Yes, big shouts out to you, Seth. Like 100%. Because I feel like my brain was already, like, pretty scattered. Like,
I mean, I wouldn't say your brain is scattered. You have so many thoughts. You are thinking about so many things all in one moment. And, like, you as a person, Kondo, are just like, this, and this. And I'm just like, okay, one at a time, buddy. And I'm like, okay, well, we'll address this, and then also this. But going back to the first one, we should talk about this and this and this. And then you're like 5 bullet points about that. And I'm like, okay, but
see, that's why we work, though, because you know how my brain works. So you're like, because remember we were working the other day, like we were just on bar. We weren't doing anything. And then, like, we were talking, and then, like, I brought up a random conversation. You were like, dude, we talked about that like 2 hours ago.
Oh my God.
And I was like, sorry. You're like, you just continue a conversation from 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, I do that.
Yeah. Because I won't say what we were talking about.
We don't have to talk about it. I know what we were talking about, but we don't have to talk about it.
Yeah. We were talking about something, and then, like, he like brings up like 4 other things and then starts talking about that. An hour passes and then like maybe like 30 more minutes passes and he goes,
I go to pull a shot. To pull a shot. I'm like pulling a shot and it's silence for a second.
Dead silent. And he's like, oh, so about that one thing. And I'm like, yo, we haven't talked about that. Like, you stopped talking about that like 2 hours ago. Like, what? And he's like, oh, yeah, I guess that was too.
Sorry. Yeah. Like, but I mean, because I've been hanging out with you the whole day, I feel like you're just going to know.
Yeah, I do. You guys, I was really stoned one night and I was like, damn, I see Kano I see him more than I see my partner. I see him more than I see anyone else in my life. This man.
Are you bummed though?
No, I'm not bummed. I was just going to say, I am grateful that it is someone solid as opposed to, like other bosses I've had. Ooh, drama.
Dude, fucking A. I mean, okay. Well, then in that case, I mean, honestly, Sav, I think that's a good spot to stop it. I mean, like an hour and a half, we're good. Like, I feel like, like we were talking about this the other night. Like, we can literally talk
for hours.
Forever.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really feel like besides the actual pause of going to the bathroom, this conversation is literally just like gone back and forth.
We have a good banter.
We do, for sure.
Everyone, come into Caffeine and Green. You can dance with us. You can listen to us, go back and forth. We're both really fun. We will never make you feel bad about not knowing what a cortado is. Like, I will explain all of that to you, baby.
What's poppin'? Yo, and then honestly, the 15 and 30-second dance parties are pretty dope.
Yeah, come dance with us. Yes. I have no rhythm. Kano's trying to teach me how to dance.
Dude, she sucks at dancing.
No.
But we're about to go to Red Wing right now. That was okay. So that was part of the thing. She was like, she found out that I love to karaoke, but I don't sing, I rap. And she was like, I want to karaoke with you. I was like, all right, bet. Let's go to Red Wing tonight.
He's like, tonight after the podcast, baby.
Let's go.
And I was like,
yeah.
Really? Seriously?
Yeah, let's go. So I call Ray Ray. I set up the bat signal. I was like, grab one of the many ladies that you're dating.
Wow, you are really putting him on blast right now.
No, he's only dating one. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding.
Ray Ray is a solid.
He's a solid.
Handsome, sexy man.
Do not. All of those things. He's actually dating nobody. I'm sorry. I'm kidding.
He's single?
He's single as fuck.
He's committed to, his beautiful dog, Bo.
Exactly.
That's it.
He's committed to Bo, and he's single, and he's living his best life. Oh, maybe I might need to edit that. I'm not going to edit it, but you're going to hear it regardless. But yes. We're going to go to Red Wing right now. Follow the story on Caffeine and Green.
Follow Caffeine and Green. You can see more of me and Kano. We're a good pair.
Dude,
come in. Come dance with us. You can make fun of me not having rhythm. You can make fun of Kano for anything.
I mean,
like I do.
That's real. That's like facts.
Please do.
Yes. And if you want to speak Spanish to me, please speak as much Spanish as possible.
He's really into it, ladies. Let me tell you. If you can speak Spanish, whoo.
If you can say my name right. Everybody says, hey, what's up, Connor? Or Cano. Okay.
But
if you're a Latina and they come in and like, hola, Cano. Like, oh, Cano. Okay. Like, stop playing. Like, oh, that melts.
To be fair, when you first hired me for Seal Mill, I was like, Kano?
Why is this so hard?
You left me a voicemail and then I met you and like you said it really quickly and I was like, I don't know what his name is and I can't ask him again because I'm trying to get this job. And so I was like, and then you called me for a second interview and I was like, hey,
this is Sav. No, you said, hi, this is Sav. That's what you said. I was like, all right, that's fair. Like you don't even. It's totally fine.
I had to like clarify. So, any hot ladies?
It's very single ladies. Holla at me, son.
Cano, like Americano.
Or Chicano.
Or
if you're
Chicano. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, Latina. I'm open for all Latin countries. What's poppin'? No.
He's like, I gotta edit this.
I'm not gonna edit it, but it's fine. But I'm just I'm a little inebriated, so I apologize. But it's supposed to be funny.
He is funny. He looks like Brad Pitt.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
son.
Yeah,
Brad Pitt and Fight Club.
Yeah.
5% body fat, baby.
It's popping. All right, let's go. Let's go. We're going to Red Wing.
We're going to Red Wing. We're going to sing.
Karaoke.
Hell yeah,
Do
baby.
you karaoke?
Not well.
But you do.
You see how I dance?
But you
It is
do,
the same
though.
as how I sing.
But you sing?
No, not well.
That's not what I asked. I said, but you sing.
I will sing,
It's a
yeah.
yes or no question.
I have zero shame, but also a lot of shame.
Yes
but
or
like,
no?
Yes.
Yes, you're gonna
yeah,
sing.
Yeah,
She's
I'm
gonna
sing.
sing.
I'm gonna sing.
Stay tuned. It's not gonna be on Caffeine and Green because I'm not gonna put it on the Caffeine and Green Instagram,
Thank
but
you,
I will
I
put it on.
appreciate it.
It's a Gucci thing. ISSA _Gucci GUCCI _ thing, and you're gonna see Sav fucking crushing it
No.
at Instagram or at karaoke. All right, we're gonna get out of here. Thank you so much, Sav. Tell the people where they can find you. Where can they find you? What do you want people? Oh, you're private.
I am private on Instagram. Black Sabbath. Black L _SAVVATH. If you listen to Black Sabbath, you'll understand that reference. I am private. Too many creepy boys. But
Understandable, yes.
you can find me at Caffeine and Green. Stop by. I will make you the best goddamn cup of coffee you've ever had.
What's poppin'?
Thanks to Kano for his wonderful roasted beans. Stop by. Cruise through.
Yes. All right. All right. That's it, folks. So come through. Anything else, Sav? You good?
No, I think I'm good. Come by. Let me make you coffee. Talk to me. You know, I like to talk to people.
Talk to me nice.
Yeah, be nice to me. I'm very soft. If you yell at me, I will cry.
Okay. We're fucking get out of here. All right. Peace. Yes. Thank you so much, Sav. That was an amazing podcast. And guys, like I said, that was so much fun. And come in 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Wednesday through Sunday, and you will find Sav every day behind the bar and just giving you good vibes, good music, and just a good time in general. And guys, I just want to say thank you again so much for everything that you guys have been doing. We're either supporting the podcast, buying coffee, coming into the cafe. Everybody, thank you all so much. And you can catch Caffeine and Green either at the website, www.caffeineandgreenroasting.com today. You can either come into the shop at 3072 El Cajon Boulevard in San Diego, California, or you can catch us in Santee at the Santee Farmers Market, or if you're down in Tecate, Mexico, you can cruise down to Kilo Libre Cafe and get any of the Issa Blend, the Notorious, the Morning Sesh, anything. We are serving all of those coffees at Kilo Libre and Tecate Cafe. And guys, without further ado, I would just like to say thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate everybody around the world who be listening. I see all of you. And guys, with just thank you so much. And I will see y'all next week. Peace.